Okay, good. So symbols are really important, and I think it's really important for us to understand symbols, particularly as it relates to the Bible we shared about Halloween and also the emergence of Kwanzaa. When I think of symbols on 4 different levels, and I'll go through this really quickly. On one level, people see the symbol and they see, and that's all they see. They see the symbol without any deeper understanding. Like on the cover of the program is a symbol. This is an Adinkra symbol. The economy of West Africa developed a whole language that's encoded in symbols, a whole range of symbols that have all these deep and embedded meanings. On that first level, somebody may look at this and without knowing the underlying meaning, they may just see 2 reptiles that are connected. That's sort of a superficial way of looking at symbols. There's another level, when we look at this, we know it actually means something. This symbol is called Tuntumreku Dinchimreku. So we can say that together. Tuntumreku Dinchimreku. And it means it's the crocodile. 2 crocodiles that share one stomach. And so on another level, people will see the symbol, they know that it means something, they know that it means, again, it's these 2 crocodiles that share one stomach, but what does that mean? It means interdependence. So that's one level of knowing, understanding something. There's a level underneath that, where we see the symbol, we know what it literally translates as, it means 2 crocodiles that share one stomach, but we also know that the meaning is actually much more rich and much more complex than can be expressed in that simple statement. And so you'll have some people who go at length, like in my class, we talked about a number of symbols. One of the symbols we talked about was Sankofa. And we spent a nice amount of class talking about what Sankofa means. We talked about just looking at the picture with the literal translation of Sankofa, that's actually 3 words. And then we unpack what Sankofa means. Not just what it means as an idea, but what it means in terms of what we do. So on that 3rd level, we actually get into the idea, the meaning that's embedded within the symbol. And then there's another level underneath that, which I think is the highest level of all, which is where we have internalized what the symbol means. Meaning the symbol is expressed in what we do. And it's at that point where we actually don't need this anymore because it's in here and it's in here. In Kemet, in ancient Egypt, they had a word called Eve. Everybody say Eve. Eve is mind and heart. They had one word for both of those things. So their idea was that human consciousness, both our intellect as well as our feelings, is all embedded in the same thing. And the symbol for that was the heart. The symbol pictures the symbol of the human heart, Eve. And then from that standpoint, from an African standpoint, then, when we truly live something, when we live something like the Nguzo Saba, which is the principles of Kwanzaa, certainly the Kwanzaa is a symbol, sort of a symbolic cultural practice that reminds us of those principles. But on the deepest level of all, these gain the highest form of expression when we live them every single day of our lives. Does that make sense? But one of the things that's really important when we talk about this idea of living cultural practices or living symbols, putting symbols into action, is the idea that when we declare something as a celebration, when we declare something as a holiday, it's extremely significant. Because first of all, holidays are collective practices. Meaning I can't sit in my office at work one day and say, tomorrow's going to be mango smoothie day. Who's going to celebrate mango smoothie day with me? Oh, you are. Okay, I got some. But for the most part, people outside of my circle aren't going to celebrate mango smoothie day. That's just But when we come together as a community, and we say that something is meaningful enough to us, something is valuable enough to us, something is significant enough to us, that we will collectively, we will celebrate it together, then we make it a holiday. When people make something a holiday, it's a powerful thing, because what they do, usually, is they make time stop. So all the normal things that people are doing, we say, no, that stuff's going to wait. And for this day, or in the case of Kwanzaa, this 7 days is going to be all about the expression of this single idea. As it relates to Kwanzaa, embedded within the 7 principles is one basic idea. How do we reclaim the best of who we are? There's a good brother, Mfundishi Julius Hassan Kamau Rashid, who's a teacher in the Newark, New Jersey area. And he wrote a book called Spiritual Warriors of Healers, and there's a nice section of the book where he talks about Kwanzaa as a re-Africanization ritual. Meaning he argues that Kwanzaa becomes a practice that allows us to reclaim basic elements of African culture. And so when we as a community declare something to be a holiday like Kwanzaa, when we declare something to be a celebration, it creates not only the time but also the space for us to internalize the value inherent in those things. and for those values to gain expression in symbolic form as we go through the ritual of Kwanzaa, but also hopefully on that deepest level, the highest form of expression, where we don't need to do, where we do this from December 26th to January 1st, but from January 2nd all the way to December 25th, we're doing it all the time. Whether we have a Kamau Rashid in the house or not, whether we're coming to gatherings like this and not talking about Kwanzaa, but then we're living those principles every single day of the year, because those principles are where? In our mind. What was the command? What was the word for that? Internalized. And so I think that it's important whenever we engage in any cultural celebration to understand the significance of those symbols and what those symbols represent on the deepest level, and how it's important, how it's necessary for us as a collective, as a community, to declare the significance of that, demonstrate the significance of that, not just by engaging in those practices, but by internalizing those principles and practicing them throughout our lives. Thank you so much.